You know, my good friend Jeff Lynne from Electric Light Orchestra, ELO, back in the day, he said, Kyle, we're headed for a showdown. And he's exactly right, as today on the channel, we unbox Ric Flair and the Big Show Showdown 2-pack. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel as we do another Mattel WWE unboxing. And today we unbox the brand new 2-packs from Mattel, the Showdown 2-packs. But remember, for all your Showdown needs and elites, jazzwares, you name it, every wrestling figure under the sun, make sure you hit up ringsidecollectibles.com, use discount code KYLE. Save yourself 10%, but today we're talking about the Ric Flair Big Show WCW Throwback Showdown 2-pack. We all remember the 2-packs from Mattel that were called Battle Packs. How could you forget them? They just disappeared like 2-3 months ago. Mattel has switched for whatever reason. I don't know if it's ever really truly been explained why they've no longer called Battle Packs and they're called Showdown Packs. Same concept, same everything. They'll always be battle packs for me. I think we're so used to battle packs, that's what we think of when we think 2-packs. No different than Jacks. When we go back and think of Jacks, we think of adrenaline when we think of 2-packs. But here we are, it's 2021, it's new time, it's a time to start over, and that's what Mattel's done, and they're calling them Showdowns now. You guys, longtime viewers of the channel, know I don't buy a lot of basic figures unless they're first time in the line, something I know I'm not going to get in elite form, and this kind of fits those boxes. We're definitely not getting any more Big Show figures anytime soon with him jumping to AEW. Ric Flair always has great figures, so it's really cool to get a Ric Flair, especially this era, mid-90s Ric Flair, with the old Dutch painter boy haircut. And then I also said to myself, I can upsell this one. I can do a little bit more, and we've talked about this as well on the channel numerous times. Sometimes you got to take your basic figures and make them elite and put some soft goods to them, put some stuff, class them up, do a little smoke and mirrors action, and that's what we're going to do with this Ric Flair. So when we open about it, after we open it, we'll do that. We'll talk about that a little bit. One thing we should note with these new Showdown packs, they're coming with figure display stands. Nobody but me loves figure display stands, or nobody more than me loves a good figure display stand, especially that's included in the package. Really think all figures should come with a display stand at this point. I know it adds extra cost, but it's such a great thing. It'd be a nice kudo to the collector. That being said, I say this, and these 2 discs, we're going to call them discs, they're almost like small CD size. Way too big of a display stand, especially if you have a lot of figures displayed. This is going to eat up, you're going to have 4 of these on a shelf. That eats up way too much room. So you need a little more compact. Even the ringside collectible stands, my heart wouldn't be hurt if they compacted those just a little bit more even to make more room. But they're good for what they are. And I always say, best figure stands in the game, so versatile. Use discount code KYLE at Ringside Collectibles, save yourself 10%. But let's take a look at this. We'll do it like we normally do. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We'll take a look at the front and back, all that kind of stuff. Talk about it. We'll unbox it. We'll talk about it. And then we'll upsell our figures a little bit. So here it is. Big Show and Ric Flair. 90s, mid-90s WCW goodness in the Championship Showdown 2-pack. Very interesting head sculpt, head scan, whatever you want to call it, on Ric Flair. It's close. I don't know if it meets the mark totally. We'll see when we get it unboxed. Like I said, there's the 2 display stands. And then, of course, you got the Big Show, which it's amazing how many messages I get on this very YouTube channel. Hey, did anybody ever tell you look like Big Show? I get those messages all the time. And I say, yeah, Cousin Paul, yeah, we're pretty close. You know, he loves this channel. He loves watching the videos, and he's a good supporter of the channel. Old Cousin Paul. But, yeah, maybe I do look like the Big Show a little bit. I'm definitely not as tall. For some reason, I'm the smallest guy in my family. I live in a family of giants. My dad's 6'8", my uncle's 6'6", and my aunt's like 6'3". My grandpa was like 6'2" or 6'5", and I'm just a lowly 6'1". I'm just a little guy in the family. So I'm not quite the Big Show height level, but maybe in the face and hair level a little bit. But these days on the channel, a lot of people comment, say, hey, I didn't know AJ Styles collected wrestling figures. And I don't know, somewhere in between an AJ Styles and Big Show is where I fit. And I guess that's my niche out there. So there you go. But I had to have this Big Show. Loved Big Show back in the mid-90s WCW. I've been a fan of Big Show for a long time. You guys know, I have certain rules in life. What do I like? Face-painted wrestlers, masked wrestlers, tattooed wrestlers, and giant wrestlers, big wrestlers. Big Show fits those. And then, of course, Ric Flair. In my top 3 favorite wrestlers of all time. You guys know Ultimate Warrior and Terry Funk 1 and 2. And then Ric Flair is right there. right there in the mix. But there it is. Interesting package. Similar to a battle pack, but different, we'll call it. Similar, but different. There it is right there. A little showdown. We got a little blurb there. We're promoting the rest of the line. UPCs, warnings, all that kind of fun stuff. And then it looks like these little discs, they are stands, but they also fit on the kid's child belt, which is a unique feature. And at the end of the day, we got to forget a lot of this stuff is for kids. It's not all for adult collectors, especially the basic line and the showdowns. Those are geared more towards kids, and we always have to take that step back and remember that a little bit. But cool feature if you're into that kind of stuff. If you're a kid, if I was a kid, I would not be into these side plates. That wouldn't really do anything for me unless there was an Ultimate Warrior side plate. That would be the only one I would want, and I'd be good with that forever. Let's see what it says on the back here. The Giant vs. Ric Flair. April 29, 1996. WCW was where the big boys played, and boy, wasn't that the case. And there was no one bigger in WCW than the Giant. The young monster was hungry for the WCW championship, but there was one problem. The title was held by the dirtiest player in the game. Ric Flair, the Nature Boy, pulled out every trick in the book to take down the big man, but it just wasn't enough to stop the unstoppable Giant. Maybe unstable too, who knows. I will say I really do like that blurb there. I love it when we get a blurb. First off, I love a blurb. But secondly, I love that they put the date in there. That is something Jazzwares and the AEW line is doing right now. All their figures is from a moment in time, and they explain that. I like that they explain this. I mean, I haven't double-checked that date to see if this is actually what they wore, but I'm going to take Mattel's credit, and I'm going to take their word for it. This is correct. I love that. I love the moment in time. I can see people pulling up the old WWE Network and saying, oh, I'm going to look that up and open this figure and look at the match. That's a really cool thing to do. I like that a lot. So Mattel, keep up the good work there. Monsters of the Ring, it says. This is Series 3. Kane and Edge and The Fiend and Daniel Bryan are the other ones in this. Those are easy passes for me. So yeah, there it is. Series 3, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. It's a nice change of pace, and you got to freshen your lines up sometimes. You got to do it. All right, what do we got here? Pull that out first. There it is. See you later, up high, towards the sky. Plastic Prison, there it is. Big Show and Ric Flair. I actually already have this Big Show. I got it really cheap from a guy loose. I had to pick it up. I said, you know what? I'm going to have that at my desk at work. Oh, we got a little tape here. Put that elsewhere. So we got a little gold foil type stands here. I'm looking at them. Very plasticky, obviously, but got that gold foil on the side there. Very cool idea. Doubles as a display stand, like we said, and then doubles as a title belt on the side of the title belts there. A little plate. So that's pretty cool. The Ric Flair one's kind of cool. But I just don't know what I'm going to do with these. I mean, they're too big. They're too big for a stand for me. But I do appreciate the idea. I appreciate Mattel trying that. All right, let's pull them out. See you later. Whoa. All right, we're going to look at Big Show first. My twin brother. Right off the bat, we got some scuffage on the face. I don't know if I can get a... So he's got a little black mark on his face. That's unfortunate. We hate that. I'm not sure if this is the same Andre the Giant body. I think this is a different body. I don't do enough basics to compare, but how do I look? Does it look just like me? Do we got a twin brother? Soak it in. I don't know. It could be. I love that he has the big choke slam hand. You know, you got to display him like this. I mean, that's the only way to display this figure, with his hands up, getting ready to throw down. I wish I had a little Kevin Sullivan Taskmaster right next to him. That would be something. But I don't hate this figure. There's a little overspray here. I mean, you're not asking for 100... Well, I take that back. I'm going to take a step back. Of course, we shouldn't have paint problems on these. We should have perfect figures for what they are. But I don't know about you. I don't get as worked up about a basic as knowing that they're made for kids. And if I was a little kid pulling this out, I wouldn't really care. There's a little overspray here. I don't know if it would be the end of the world for me. So sometimes we got to take that step back. But we hate to see any of that. The little smudge on the face is a little much. I like the faces to be at least a little clean. But I guess it is what it is. But this is all right. It's a moment in time. I don't see us getting this WCW Big Show anytime soon, so I better have this now. That's the way I see it. So I give this a pass. I give it a passing grade. Ric Flair, I just wish this was elite. It feels so weird, basic. Basics feel so kiddie, but once again, these are for kids. They are for children. Ric Flair, we don't get a lot of mid-90s Ric Flairs. We haven't got much. And this head scan here, that people took a lot of grief online. People were complaining about this one a lot. It truly does look better in person. Much, much better in person. So I do like that a whole lot. Ric Flair, I like the green and the gold. Like, he's an Oakland A's fan. He must have been on the West Coast loop out here. Said, you know, got to put my Oakland A's colors on. So good for him. We got the nice RF on the yellow boots with the piping there. Got the fisted hand. I always love a fisted hand on a figure. I feel like every wrestling figure should have at least one fisted hand. That's just me. I'm sure he fits on the stand. These fit very well, but they're just too big. Just too big. Look how big that is. Very, very big. All right, now we talk about Ric Flair. I wanted to take him to the next level. I wanted to turn this basic elite. And one thing I thought of to do was I have that, remember call back to your brain, Goldberg and Bret Hart Elite 2-pack that came out 6-8 months ago, something like that. You probably still get it some places if you look hard enough. That came with the WCW US title, and it came with Bret Hart and Goldberg and stuff, but it also came with this WCW Monday Nitro shirt. You guys probably remember this. I'm not going to put this on Goldberg. I'm not going to put it on Bret Hart, so I put it in my soft goods bag of extra shirts and stuff like that. Well, if you guys remember the last Nitro when Ric Flair and Sting wrestled each other, Flair wore a shirt. I'm not sure if it was this exact shirt, but it was pretty close. He wore a shirt to wrestle in. And that's what I'm going to do here. I'm not using this. In this way, it kind of hides that, hey, there's no ab crunch. Hey, this is no elite. Little smoke and mirrors action, we'll call it. And I figured to be able to get use out of this shirt instead of just sitting in my pile, and it'll make this Ric Flair just a little bit different. And it immediately classes this Ric Flair up. Makes it a much better figure. Right off the bat there, huh? Look at that. Much, much better. Covers the lack of ab crunch. It just takes this to the next level. And that's what you got to do. And I always encourage that on some basics out there. Take them to the next level. Get some soft goods. Go to some of the third parties out there. Get some soft good stuffs. Turn your basics into somewhat elites. Because there are some good outfits. There's some decent head scans out there. There's some cool things you can do. Let's say you're a big Edge fan. There's tons of Edge basics out there. But, you know, the figure's not that great. But you get some of Edge's shirts from some of these third-party companies. You can really take them to the next level. And it's a lot cheaper than doing that with Elite. So, little smoke and mirrors. I like this one. I think this is a great idea to do with old Nature Boy Ric Flair. Represents a good moment in time. Getting a WCW Big Show is always a win for me. I'll take all the Big Show figures I can get. Can't wait to get a Jazzwares Big Show figure. It'll be interesting what they do with a much larger body mold size that they're going to have to invent. So you guys know me. I love a big wrestler, and AEW will have to do that for Big Show. You got to think they'll pump out at least one. He hasn't wrestled yet, but I'm sure he will eventually. So there it is, the old Showdown 2-packs, Big Show and Ric Flair. You guys tell me your thoughts on the old Showdown. Have you thought about them at all? I never really thought about them. I remember seeing them and said it seems kind of weird. It's just an interesting concept. I guess it's a good restart because you guys know Battle Packs was well over. Was it over 100 sets by now? It had to have been close. I wonder if we'll see the same thing with the basics. But give me your comments on these guys. Did you do this same thing? Are you going to use this idea on the shirt? A lot of people probably have that extra shirt hanging around. Good use for it out there. But just give me your general thoughts on this 2-pack and basics out there. And then don't forget to like the video. You made it this far. You might as well like it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're unboxing every wrestling figure under the sun, it seems like. And we'll continue to, and a whole lot more out there as well. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. So for my brother Paul, old Ric Flair, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.